United Kingdom is all set to roll out the red carpet for Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who will be the first Indian Prime Minister to visit the island since 2006. Prime Minister Modi has already left for Britain. He would be landing at the Heathrow Airport. In fact, his plane is scheduled to arrive at 3:30 p.m. India time. And top on his agenda will, of course, be boosting ties in trade and enhancing cooperation on terrorism. This will be the Prime Minister's third meeting with his British counterpart, David Cameron. Modi will be holding wide-ranging talks with the UK Prime Minister David Cameron, and both sides are also likely to sign a number of agreements. In fact, the centrepiece of Modi's visit will be a mass rally and fireworks display at Wembley Stadium on Friday for an estimated 70,000 supporters. Prime Minister's packed schedule in London also includes a lunch with Queen Elizabeth at Buckingham Palace and an address to the British Parliament. Okay, let's get in a word from Deputy Editor Smita Sharma, who joins us from St. James Court. That's the hotel where Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister, would be staying. Smita, if you could just take us through the course of events, how is London gearing up to receive the Indian Prime Minister?
Well, Avantika, even as India, of course, is entering now the evening phase here in London, it's a beautiful morning with clear blue skies. Right behind me, of course, is the St. James Court Hotel, which is interestingly a Taj property, and perhaps it symbolizes very well the sort of Indo-British collaboration that we will see, in fact, being talked about a lot over the next 48 hours as Narendra Modi gets into those official talks with his British counterpart. Any moment now that his special aircraft will touch down upon Heathrow. It will take, of course, around 20 minutes for him to come into this hotel. But, as you can see, traffic so far moving a little bit slowly here. High security, the Metropolitan Police, of course, keeping a sharp eye. Though London is not a place where you really see a lot of barricades being put up or people being stopped from going from one place to the other just because there's a head of state visiting. In fact, even groups that want to protest are allowed that space to protest if they want to come and wave black flags, because UK believes in being a liberal democracy. But for Narendra Modi, it's going to be a busy day here with a lot of firsts for that, that first guard of honor, that first address to the UK Parliament here as far as the Indian Prime Minister goes, and also those subsequent events tomorrow, the high-profile events, be it at Buckingham Palace to Wembley, where we will see Narendra Modi making a high pitch, perhaps, that renewed marketing for trying to strengthen the brand India slogan.
Okay, now, Smita, when the Prime Minister went to New York, he received a rather warm welcome from the Indian diaspora at the iconic Waldorf Astoria. Now, all right, Smita, I will just ask you that question in a short bit, but we are getting live images there of the Prime Minister, his plane landing at the Heathrow Airport, and of course he would be descending from the aircraft in a short while from now. So Smita, just coming to you, we're just waiting for the Prime Minister now to come outside. We are getting live reports there. If you can just listen in to what really the reporter has to say. All right, so Smita, let me just ask you, so the Indian diaspora, they gave a warm welcome at the iconic Waldorf Astoria. Are we seeing members of the Indian community outside the St. James Hotel as well?
Not really, Avantika. We don't see any of the Indian community members standing here, but we are expecting some of them perhaps to be at the airport. Maybe one or two people who have just come up to us and said that we are from Delhi or that we are Indians, but we do not see that kind of an arrangement at the moment. Maybe a few, sort of faces that do look Indian here just outside the hotel, but they are already present here for business purposes, for vacation purposes. So that's a slightly different thing, but I think that was also done keeping in mind that, this is not a hotel where you actually walk in a lot and then there's a lot of distance. It's just on the road, with moving traffic. As you can see, buses still plying. But Narendra Modi for sure here will in fact be actually interacting with some members of the Indian community before he goes into those official talks today. The Diaspora Connect has been very strong for him ever since he became the Prime Minister. It's almost become a signature style. Yes, wherever he goes, those diaspora addresses, which also land him into controversies because he politicizes those diaspora rallies, and the opposition opposition says that you don't travel overseas as a prime minister just to make political scathing attacks against your opponents. So that's of course been a controversial part. But while that energy is still there, perhaps people are also now sort of watching the pace at which all his words and his dreams and the promises, they are implemented back home as well.
Smita, how is the British media, tracking and viewing the Prime Minister's arrival to Great Britain?
They're tracking it closely. They are in fact going to write about it a lot. But it's not just going to be about the euphoria. It's not just going to be about the diaspora connect, really. Because in UK, remember, some of these the leading national dailies, be the Daily Telegraph, to of course the Guardian, they've also come out with critical editorials. They have been watching the developments in India itself over the last few weeks. That Dadri beef lynching incident too. We have seen the the vertical split down happening between civil society members, creative artists on that issue of growing intolerance within the country. They're also looking at the pace of reforms, especially now coming close to the heels of that humiliating defeat in Bihar, which also sort of narrows down the elbow room available for the ruling party in a way to make sure that the sailing through in parliament for legislations is easier. So these are all the things that are being written about, even as the newspapers here have been writing about that how the 70,000 strong, in fact, Indian presence at Wembley Stadium is going to be very, very important and symbolic of the rise of the diaspora really within the United Kingdom. We went to Neastan area yesterday at that Swaminarayan temple. Now, if you were to go to Brent side, to Neastan side, you get to see the community presence and it's absolutely strong.
And it was very interesting to hear when you were speaking to Lord Swaraj Paul, where he didn't really sound optimistic about the passage of the very crucial tax reform bill, the GST. But he did, mention to you how he would urge the Prime Minister to eye some big trade deals and also seek more investment into the country.
Lord Meghna Desai, if I'm slightly
I stand corrected there.
Is the one that I was speaking to. And yes, he seemed... it's all right, but he did seem, of course, optimistic about the overall, in fact, the sort of impact that this visit will have. What is interesting, Avantika, according to sources that I've been speaking to here at the Foreign Office, David Cameron was actually in Australia even during the G20 summit, where we saw a lot of bromance happening between Narendra Modi and the Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott. But what we are being told is at that point, actually, there was not much of a chemistry that sort of could be worked up between David Cameron and Narendra Modi, and now is the time that they want to sort of work on that, make sure that the optics are all right there in place. This visit perhaps could have happened for Narendra Modi much earlier, but he had to sort of delay it because UK went into election mode where David Cameron came back to power. But Lord, as far as Meghna Desai is concerned, he also made a very interesting comment, because while we are also talking about how Narendra Modi might just actually raise the issue of getting back Kohini to India, Lord Desai, while of course appreciative of what Narendra Modi is doing and calling him that he's still the man of the hour that UK believes can deliver, but he did say that on Kohinoor, if anybody actually can claim, it's Pakistan, because Maharaja Ranjit Singh belonged to Lahore. So that was another, in fact, interesting comment that he made as well.
Oh, absolutely. That was indeed. I was listening to that interview a short while back. But tell me something, Smita. Now, let's talk about the Indian British community, the Indian diaspora, the preparations at the Wembley Stadium. What is the sense that you have got from the Indian Americans after, the loss that the BJP faced? There was a question, whether the drubbing that the NDA received in the Bihar State Assembly would resonate at 10 Downing Street. Do you get that sense? Do you get that feeling from the Indian British, community?
These are not really comments that are being made directly, but if I may just, Avantika, speak to two people who have just landed. Where have you come from? Before I get back to your answer, कहाँ से आए हैं आप?
मैं हैरो से आया हूँ, from International Siddharshram Shakti Center.
अच्छा.
And we are supporting the Modi's, like welcoming him.
But normally wherever Narendra Modi goes, we see a lot of Indian community members, in fact, try and welcome him. So, excuse me. So, but how come here we don't actually get to see too many of you this time?
Well, they are coming because today is also Hindu New Year.
Yeah.
as a Nutan Varsha Abhinandan. So people is on the way, coming by coach and coming by train as well.
Okay, they're coming by coach. But how much of a difference will this make? You know, नरेंद्र मोदी के यहाँ आने से जो भारतीय समुदाय है, ये काफी इम्पोर्टेंट है यहाँ यूके में. उसको कितनी इम्पोर्टेंस मिल पाएगी?
टू मच इम्पोर्टेंट मिल सकती है. नरेंद्र मोदी की वजह से इधर के लोग इतने खुशहाल हो गए हैं कि जैसे कोई नया फेस्टिवल, नरेंद्र मोदी दिवाली जैसा फेस्टिवल छोड़ के इधर आ रहा है तो लोगों को ऐसा लग रहा है कि हमारा प्राइम मिनिस्टर बड़ा स्ट्रांग है. और वो इधर के लोगों को मन में ऐसे है.
आप कहाँ रहते हैं? आप कब से हैं यहाँ यूके में?
मैं 10 साल से यूके में हूँ.
10 साल से
हाँ,
यूके में हैं?
हाँ, मैं
अच्छा, आपको वोट करने की इजाजत है यहाँ?
हाँ,
वोट करने की यहाँ इजाजत है?
नहीं है अभी.
नहीं है यहाँ
नहीं है,
पर.
हाँ.
लेकिन so a few members of course trickling in Avantika, but clearly as far as the diaspora is concerned, they have grown in numbers, they have grown in terms of the professional expertise that they bring into the UK, the kind of services that we see Indians delivering. These are all in fact contributions that be it Americans or be it Britishers, they are increasingly of course more aware of. In David Cameron's cabinet itself, we have a lot of Indian origin faces. There is Preeti Patel, we have these vocal leaders who have been speaking for the community, and they know that these communities, it's not just the Indians, the South Asians really, that can swing votes for leaders, which can be very, very significant when it's a tightly contested elections, which is the reason why ahead of those elections, we actually saw these leaders go into temples, go into gurudwaras, perform all sorts of ceremonies. We have those images of David Cameron with Sikhs, with Hindus, to try and of course, make sure that the community is actually voted for him.
Absolutely. Smita, the reason that I am, asking you all these questions and, trying to get more information is because there is so much excitement around the Prime Minister's visit to the United Kingdom. Now, he has met David Cameron on several occasions at various international forums. Those meetings have been rather productive. So this visit, assumes a lot of significance, and the Prime Minister's special plane, the Air India plane, has already, reached the Heathrow Airport. We are just waiting for the Prime Minister now to walk down the steps and make his presence felt during his maiden visit to the United Kingdom. Smita, if you could just take me through the day's events. So once the Prime Minister leaves the Heathrow Airport, where is he off to?
He first comes into the hotel, St. James Court, as you can see, right behind this van where the Indian flag is, where the tricolour has been hoisted. That's the entrance through which we'll see the Prime Minister's, in fact, a convoy go in. He will be here for around 2 hours, where he will be holding some meetings with the High Commission officials, also with some Indian community members from the Punjabi and the Sikh communities, really. But then there is that guard of honour at 10 Downing Street. There is also, of course, after those bilateral talks that will be held at 10 Downing Street with David Cameron, the delegation level talks over a host of issues, the agreements that need to be inked, which is being in fact said to be worth around $15 billion. How much of those numbers, the number crunching will have to be done later on as far as those agreements are concerned. But he will also address the UK Parliament. There is a press conference slated in between. Now, what we are not clear is whether the press conference will really be addressed by the two Prime Ministers, or in fact some other high level officials will be addressing that joint press conference. We'll get to know it in half an hour from now. But there is also that address to City Hall, and post which he will be departing for Chequers, the countryside residence of the UK Prime Minister David Cameron, who doesn't host everybody out there. But clearly, as I was saying earlier, that since optics is something that the Indian side always believes, especially in Narendra Modi's term, that needs to be right, and they have worked closely with the Britishers here to make sure that the photo opportunities are great, that it sends out a message that both India and UK mean business.
All right. And Smita, while this visit is definitely meant to, boost and strengthen trade and investment between the two countries, as was told to you by Lord Meghnad Desai as well, apart from, the economic ties between the two nations, what are the other issues? If I speak from the Indian diaspora side, will the Prime Minister be taking up with his British counterpart?
The global security situation is important here, Avantika, and
Okay.
also, in fact, the security situation in the region. UK is an important, in fact, nation as far as the NATO forces are concerned, or in other security situation, be it in the Afghanistan or the rise of ISIS, the rise, in fact, of Khalistani forces as well. That is something that Narendra Modi also took up when he went to Canada, because Canada is another country where we do hear reports of regrouping of some of these forces. So these are the issues that will be on the platter. How to ensure that there is greater cooperation on counter-terrorism measures as well. You know, a lot of Britishers travel to India, remember, and these British citizens are actively involved on both the sides. So there is that political, in fact, tie-up as well. There are the UNSC reforms, the global institutions, how to go around their expansions. Interestingly, it was actually UK and French, two of the countries that sort of turned around much earlier than the other countries, you know, be it Russia, China, that we have seen not really coming on board with India's aspirations of being on an expanded, reformed Security Council. But UK has been, of course, backing India on this one. So these are a lot of issues that the two sides will be, in fact, talking about. Climate change. We have the Paris Climate Change Conference coming up end of November, where Narendra Modi will be heading to around 30th of November. He will be making some announcements on, of course, solar power projects as well. So these are some of the other issues that will be on that table of talks.
Absolutely, Smita. Let me just take our viewers through the visuals. We're just waiting for the Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, to walk out of the aircraft. And as Smita was mentioning, his first stop would be, of course, the St. James Court. That's the hotel where the Prime Minister will be staying. Smita, we've been talking about, this visit and the Prime Minister eyeing some crucial trade deals with Great Britain. But what about his date with Queen Elizabeth at Buckingham Palace? That's going to be an interesting one, isn't it?
Absolutely. You know, Queen Elizabeth, she was actually crowned at a very young age of 25. And she's quite a sport. We saw during that Commonwealth Games, if you remember, that there was actually an act of the Queen sort of parachuting down, which it took everybody by surprise. So, for her age, she has ruled Britain for almost 5 decades now. She's one of the longest, in fact, serving ruling queens here in the country. And she has seen so much of economic, social transformations happen through these 5 decades. So it is going to be very, very interesting. You know, here is this man that we see who goes on to every stage and announces that how he has actually risen from a very, very humble background. He was the son of a chai wala who used to sell tea himself, and he comes and sits with somebody who is just the absolute sort of symbol of royalty. You know, so the silver spoon meeting, of course, the man who has this rags to riches kind of a story. So visually it's going to be very, very important, even though it might not actually translate into a lot in terms of businesses. But there's another gentleman here जो हमारे साथ I can see him. आप कहाँ से आए हैं sir? And I see a lot of flags that you are carrying as well, UK, India, so you sort of making sure collaboration is smooth.
Absolutely correct. What I'm trying to achieve is make sure that all people over here today to welcome Prime Minister has a flag.
Okay.
Hindustan, Britain. We are very proud of this flag.
Right.
Both the flags.
Yes.
That's one. Number two, of course, we are delighted that the Prime Minister has taken so much trouble, along with the British government, to come to this country. Especially under the circumstances when he was banned from coming to this country or stopped by the Labour government. Yes. Today, we are delighted that the Conservative government, Prime Minister Cameron and his entire Conservative team, is welcoming Prime Minister Modi into this country. That's one. Number two, we, the Indians, the Indian diaspora living in this country, are delighted that we have organized such a phenomenal welcome at Wembley Stadium tomorrow.
Yes.
And there is no question about it. India will be very, very proud of us all.
Before we go to Wembley, you know, that rockstar reception, sir, tell me, when Narendra Modi meets the Queen, what is the importance of that meeting?
Well, it's always an importance to meet as the head of the state and that's a great honor for our Prime Minister to meet him. My name is Lalubhai Parekh. I am President of Overseas Friends of BJP.
Yes.
And I am one of the trustee of Indo-Europe.
So how does Mr. Narendra Modi's visit here give a push? Because anyways the community is very strong, and we have seen that the political parties here have been recognizing the importance of the community for a time now.
Indian community has been very strong. We had Labour Friends of India and Labour Friends of Conservative Party. So we are dominating. We have got so many representatives in the parliament as well. But we are a
I'll
business
have to
community,
interrupt you there.
and it will do good
the Prime
to the business
Minister
community.
finally descending from the aircraft, and there he is, looking resplendent in his coat and meeting various diplomats and people of prominence and officials from the British government. That is Prime Minister Modi there being greeted. He has just arrived. He has just walked down his aircraft. He would be now heading to the St. James Court, just outside where our deputy editor Smita Sharma has been getting us all the updates. And in fact, Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister, has a packed day. He would be meeting his British counterpart in a short while. A lot of business meetings are also scheduled inside that hotel before he heads off for meeting David Cameron, the British Prime Minister. It's a high-profile visit. It's the first of the Prime Minister in Great Britain. He would be giving, he is expected to be given a warm welcome by the Indian community. In fact, we have already seen people, gathering outside the St. James Court, waving Indian and Great Britain flags. Remember, the Prime Minister, if you recall, had received a huge welcome and a rather warm one by the Indian diaspora outside the iconic Waldorf Astoria Hotel when he went to New York. And now the Prime Minister would be going to St. James Court in London, where he would be staying with the rest of his entourage. This visit by the Prime Minister is expected to boost bilateral trade and investment between both the nations. The Prime Minister will be holding bilateral talks with his British counterpart. He is expected to meet several business and industry leaders. He is also expected to have lunch with the Queen at Buckingham Palace. So a lot that is lined up, and not to miss the huge reception that he would be receiving or is expected to receive at the famous Wembley Stadium. Lavina Tandon even got a chance, our correspondent got a chance to speak to some of the members who would be performing for the Prime Minister. They seem to be extremely ecstatic and excited upon the arrival of their Prime Minister. That is the Prime Minister who just arrived a short while back, looking rather smart in his coat, walking down the steps, smiling, folding his hands, doing a namaste and meeting officials from the British government, beginning his 3-day visit to the United Kingdom, the first ever by a Prime Minister in a decade. Smita, isn't it interesting that the Prime Minister and his government have been battling extreme ideology crisis here back home, but he is being received with so much love and affection by the Indian British community, or for that matter, the Indian American community when he visited the United States.
Well, yes, Avantika, as far as the communities are concerned, the way these assembly elections in Bihar transform within the country, that is not really the way it transforms overseas. The issues are different, and they do believe that Narendra Modi has energized the NRI community. They thought that they had been ignored for a long time, but here is a Prime Minister that gives them adequate attention. As you can see, some more people who have now lined up saying it's a Modi Express, in fact, that seems to be welcoming. What is this Modi Express really about?
We are a group of youngsters, plus we are very good fans of Narendra Modi, who are initiating Modi the Swachh Bharat mission. We will be cleaning Wembley Stadium after the Wembley Stadium event. So we are a group of 200 to 300 youngsters.
Sir, Wembley to clean ho jayega. Britain has a system in place. Varanasi clean hoga ki nahi? India ke cities कैसे?
उसी के लिए हमको मैसेज पास करना है कि हमारे यहाँ से हम मैसेज पास करना चाहते हैं कि क्लीन इंडिया.
So you want to be brand ambassadors of Swachh Bharat and the other?
Yeah, and Make in India is one of the logo which says Make in India. We
So
want
you
to-
have basically an Indian flag, you have a UK flag, you have a Modi Express, and you have a Make in India. So
India.
you're making sure every element is taken care of. Do you work? Are you a student here? What is it?
No, I work as a finance consultant here.
So are you not at work today?
No, I just
It's
took
a
the day off
working day.
because we've been preparing for this for more than 1 month now. So
Okay.
yeah, we are really excited. And this is today and tomorrow is the actually action day for us.
Right. So, these gentlemen here have actually sort of taken leave from work. But what are you expecting really in terms of the deliverables from the Narendra Modi visit?
Narendra Modi, from NRI point of view, he has given us a face. Like being an NRI, we were almost faceless in anywhere in the world. But what he has done is, he has given us a face. Like, look, go everywhere, you can see the magnitude of the celebration.
Yes, as I can see, Modi Express, which supports the Make in India, the Swachh Bharat campaign. So it's an interesting point that you say that he has made the NRI community, he's given them a face, sir. Do you think that the previous governments, we also had Vajpayee Sahab, as part of the BJP government in the past, were they not sort of sensitive enough to the NRIs? They did not sort of gauge the strength of this community well?
Absolutely correct, because number one, I think we got to give them a fair vision, not vision, but a fair chance.
Okay, we'll go back to that story now and speak to Kamaljeet Sandhu. Kamaljeet, the protest march, the protest by Sikh radicals has been a cause of concern for the Indian authorities. In fact, the PMO was even warned of, Sikh radicalism, by various groups. So what exactly is the Indian government planning to take up with their British counterpart?